The Sunday Times. I don't buy newspapers. This was Zambo work. What's this? Energy crisis is priced to avoid world war, says Zelensky. You know, it's meant to say that. There. Energy crisis is priced to avoid world war, says Zelensky. Well, we're kind of already in a world war, aren't we? And little Mr. Zelensky, he's a PR genius, isn't he? He's fantastic. Very, very clever man when it comes to speeches and optics. Very Churchillian, whoever's writing the speeches for him are very, very good. So we are in World War III the now anyway, and the energy crisis isn't a price that's worth paying to avoid it. We should negotiate, so nah, I'm not giving you that one. The Sunday Times, what's this one up here? Trust team plot law to torpedo Sturgeon's second referendum campaign. I'm going to defilter that one for you. Scotland, we want your oil, and you are to get your hands on it. If you think about it just now, the price of oil and gas in the world is absolute bonkers. So the idea that the English government would let Scotland even risk grabbing that money, they're not going to do that, are they? So, and Nicola Sturgeon, she's not very clever, is she? Well, she is. She's like Mr. Zelensky in some ways, isn't she? She's great at the media. She's great at press interviews and stuff like that, but her policies are not very good. Right? Star was fuel. Right, so we're not going back to the moon apparently. Here's an interesting thing. Most of the International Space Station was built in Russia. And most of the rockets that go back and forth to the International Space Station are built and designed and come from Russia. So from a military point of view, the Americans can't even service the International Space Station themselves. Right? NASA can't do that. But then the Russians have developed a 100% success rate getting stuff up and down to the International Space Station. So if you think about that, that means rockets are their thing, and they're good at rockets, aren't they? So do not underestimate Russian engineering, especially not the aeronautic stuff. It's second to none. In fact, their space stuff is the best in the world just now, isn't it? The winter forecast of fear, that sums it up, doesn't it? After the coronavirus fear, we are now getting war fear. I'm more worried about the war fear than I'm about the coronavirus fear. Right? The winter forecast of fear, blackouts and fuel rationing. I'll decouple that one for you as well. If we look at the thing in the first page, nobody's prepared to try to deal with the Russians to stop the war yet, are they? So instead of trying to negotiate a ceasefire and stopping this madness, we're all going to have rationed fuel and blackouts. So that's them telling us that Britain, you're going down the plug hole. And again, if you're Scottish, think about that one. The idea that there's going to be fuel rationing and the blackouts in Scotland. I mean, I'm not going to... What's this? Police prepare for months of surging crime and civil unrest. Well, obviously, people get cold and wet, they're going to start pulling out Mr. Guillotine. Right. The man with the 007, right. The man with the golden 007 ring. I could make a joke about that, make it yourself. James Bond's ring. So what we got here. We've got more cheating news. The coming storm. Right, so it's a Sunak's choice, philanthropy, family farming, or even facing down Boris in 2024. There's a bad... I've seen a few things Boris might come back. Now, if the best the UK can do is Boris Johnson, and he's, well, I honestly, I want the most inept politician to lead the UK that we can get. Johnson was, he was great, wasn't he? He was just an absolute clown. He was as dangerous as a bag of opal fruits. So I want Liz Truss because she hasn't got a brain in her head. I mean, the women have eaten things cleverer than Liz Truss, and I'm a vegetarian. There you go. So Liz Truss is not smarter than a vegetable. What else have we got? Tory female chief whip. That sounds like something from my BDSM club, doesn't it? Macron and Schultz don't understand Putin's threat, but I have to trust him. Right, here we go. I can only pray the next leader is like him. This is Volodymyr talking about Boris. I hope the next leader is worse than Boris, right? Now, I heard a rumour, and everybody's got different takes on this. Again, this is just when I'm out and about in the van, I listen to podcasts and things. So I heard a rumour that every time Jaws goes over to talk to the clown actor that likes the gear, and likes the racket, and likes ramming the white stuff up his nose, every time he goes over to see him, apparently he's already been on the phone to Joe Biden or somebody else saying, I want to negotiate because my country's getting chopped up into pieces, and my army's getting decimated. So every time he phones up Biden and says, right, what, I need to talk to the Russians, Boris goes over with a suitcase full of £100 notes and says to him, don't you worry, we're going to help you. We're going to give you all these wonder weapons and everything's going to be all right. Meantime, Russians are in the southeast of the country like Pac-Man, aren't they? It's amazing what they've been doing. Slowly mincing the Ukrainian military. It's absolutely horrific. I mean, it is absolutely horrific what's happening over there. So he goes over there with suitcases full of cash and says to him, you keep fighting. NATO have got your back and all the rest of it. This guy apparently is nearly a billionaire, which isn't bad for a guy that started out as a TV comedian. If you were cynical, you'd maybe think that all this money that we're sending to the Ukraine, maybe it's like a money laundering operation, and half of these weapons aren't getting there, half of them are ending up in the black market. Bills could see Bass businesses down the plug holes again. We're not prepared to talk to Russia about trying to stop the war. Gender reforms is a dog's breakfast. Well, God almighty, they're scraping the barrel there, aren't they? The cost of a cucumber crisis. £1 for a cucumber, that's it. It's over for me. At that point, I'm out. I'll grow my own cucumbers. There we have the lizards. They don't like this lady here. I don't know why they don't like this lady here. Can anybody guess? So, and who's this woman? Roy and Nick Minaj. They don't like young Meghan. Or the press don't like Meghan. I'm sure the royal family probably only were great. It's hard to know every bear likes to pander to the crowd. It's hard to not like a member. You know, somebody just giving birth to a new addition to the family, isn't it? Rod Riddle, we have been neglecting our nuclear needs for too long, and the nuclear family too. Now, this guy's an absolute idiot as well, and Rod Riddle, so you can go in the bin. I'll decouple this one. We have backed ourselves into such a catastrophe with the energy. Everybody's clambering about saying that we need new nuclear power stations. Nuclear power stations are dog shit. The worst form of energy imaginable. I mean, the physics behind them is incredible, but the fact that you have to store the nuclear waste for tens of thousands of years is just don't even think about that. Again, if you're Scottish, why would we need nuclear power stations? We've got renewable energy we export, oil, coal, gas. We've got that a lot, man. We don't need nuclear power stations, Rod. You should be looking for a job soon, right? Let's go into this one. Britain wasn't ready for war. Our broken sons is paying the price. Hey, look at this guy. What a figure of a man, you know. That's a before and that's an after. What an absolute shame. The British military can stoke an offensive with the Ukraine, can't they, and send hundreds of billions of pounds worth of weapons over there, but the fact of the matter is our military's been decimated, and if we thought we could go toe-to-toe with this mob, we are kidding ourselves on. I've no doubt about it, the most powerful military on the planet at this point in time are these guys. Not only have they spent 8 years perfecting their air force in Syria, so that's a country that's renowned for snow and ice. Military now works perfectly in deserts. They can pull 35 to plus 40 degrees Celsius. They can also fight in minus 35, minus 40 degrees Celsius. When here in the UK we can't even get trains to run. So under no circumstances would you mess with these people. And the next one I would say to you is if they can so I've lost my train of thought. We'll go on to the next one. Ukraine needs a breakthrough. Russian troops a break. It all hinges this winter. Well, there we go. I'll decouple that one as well. We've actually absolutely stuffed it in our own backsides. This winter is going to be horrific, and the Russians say they don't want to sell us energy anymore, and you're going to be eating your pets. The Ukrainian military have been getting minced recently. They're not telling you that in the Western media, but kind of over for they guys. Pakistan, that's just absolutely horrific. The floods I've seen over there are shocking. So I feel sorry for the Pakistani people. What have we got here? Middle class sex cult. That sounds good. A middle class sex cult that came to England and stole childhood. Fantastic. Nah, it's not fantastic. I don't know even know what it is. A woman on top in new Bond novel with female touch, right? Smashing. What else have we got? Oh, hey, this guy's an absolute flip. Alex Massey. Truss should steer clear of sturgeon. Right. Sturgeon and truss are no threat to anybody. They're potatoes. I feel more threatened by a carrot than I do of either of these two women. This is I've not read it right, but it's a Scotland bad story, and the reason Scotland's bad is we're too small, we're too poor, and we're too stupid to possibly even think about governing our own affairs. If you put that through my filter, Scotland's a very oil-rich country, it's a very, very gas-rich country. We should get pulled down the plug with Boris Johnson and Liz Truss, who has the IQ of an amoeba. So that's what I see. That wee guy there, I've seen him on the Twitter. He's an absolute prick. Truss endured lickspittle, what's that? Storm of misogynistic tantruming and envy. That's well written. Give him that. Who's this one? Camilla Long. Don't know anything about her, but misogynistic tantruming and envy. I like that. That's good. The Sussex's gilded life looks anything but fun. So that's another one. Does that hate Harry and Meghan? Does that hate who's the other guy? The ginger hair? Does that hate the other guy? Who knows? Jeremy Clarkson on the Fences World today. You know what? A lot of time for Jeremy Clarkson. I know he punches his staff and he's a bit of a dick, but I like the guy. That's us got to the back of the newspaper. I'm going to say, under no circumstances whatsoever, ever buy the Daily Mail. It's a propaganda rag and it's all rubbish. Alright. So, this was my 12-minute 44-second Sunday afternoon newspaper review. I hope you've enjoyed it. The channel continues to grow and expand and always do in varied directions. Thank you all for watching. Bye bye.